Hello everyone, I'm Zach Woodger. I'm Advertising and Entertainment Manager here at Rising Star Casino. Today I'm with one of our shining stars at Rising Star, Tim Craig. How are you today?
How are you?
Good. So we're here to just ask you a few questions about your experience here at Rising Star Casino. I guess we'll just start it off with, how long have you been in facilities? And did you start in facilities or did you bounce around a little bit?
I've been in facilities about 8.5 years, maybe 9. I've actually been with the company probably about 16 and a half years. I've been in a lot of different departments. I started on golf course, which was seasonal, transferred over to barback, was there about 3 months, got laid off, came back in the kitchen where I worked for about 4.5 years, and then I retrained as an EMT, and I was an EMT for about a little over 4, and then I moved to facilities from there.
So you've kind of bounced around a lot.
Yeah.
You've seen all the aspects of it.
I have. I've seen a lot of stuff happen around here, and just, people come and go, and just yeah. And I mainly enjoy the facilities because that's really what I'm good at. So.
Awesome, perfect. Well, tell us a little bit about your role and kind of what your day-to-day looks like. I know it could probably be a little bit different each day, but...
Yeah, in general, it can be really varied. You could just be working on, damage to the building itself, as far as like paint, wallpaper, damage in rooms or hallways. Or like currently right now, I'm building a whole new promotions booth on level 1, which is quite involved. It's a lot of construction. Do a lot of construction around here, in different areas. I even do stuff outside of here, of the job, like do Christmas, a lot of Christmas stuff, and different holiday themed displays as they come along. So it's always a mixed bag of tricks.
I can imagine. So you mentioned Christmas. So come October, our assistant general manager, Greg Tufts, he calls you Mr. Christmas. So you help a lot with getting all the displays and hauling everything from the warehouse and everything. What would you want to talk about? What goes into the Christmas setup? Because for anyone who's been here, you've seen the Christmas stuff, and this is one of the main men behind it.
Generally, it starts fairly early. Typically, we start with the deer house. We have to build the deer house, put up a bunch of stockyard fencing, and then, of course, vinyl fencing. That takes a few days, along with the 2 lean-tos that also go into there. So we start early on that, trying to get it before it gets too cold or windy, because it gets a little dangerous putting the roofs on when it's windy. From there, generally, there's a small break if we start early, and generally it takes us about 2 weeks to move all the stuff from the warehouse over to here and stage it where it needs to go. And then generally it'll take anywhere from 7 to 10 days to actually put Christmas up, which varies on what we start with, but just the village alone probably takes, I would say probably takes me at least 3 days to do, along with other people that put up, the trees and the outer fencing and the actual building of the Santa house and all the buildings. And then we move on to the other displays and the major, big Christmas tree and all the animatronics. So, and then of course I take all the empty stuff and put it back in the warehouse when we're done. And yes, there's a lot that goes into it.
I can imagine probably loading it back into the warehouse after in January is easier, or is it more difficult?
You would think so, but taking it out and putting it up is easier because you don't have to carefully pack it and pack it all together so something doesn't get lost or broken. Then you got to bring it over, and generally it's a lot colder to put it away at that time of year than it is when you're putting it up.
This year is in the negative, right?
It was brutal, yeah.
All right, so what is the most unique or we'll say unexpected thing that you've had to fix, whether it was from the outside of the building, some I guess is broken maybe?
It varies quite a bit. I would say the most unique thing was like the actual size of construction, different things. Like when we redid the sports book, having to build the outer wall, take down the inner metal walls, repainting the whole thing. That was a pretty big, job in itself. Not quite unexpected. Can't really say I've had anything too unexpected. Built a few games that I was surprised with that, they dreamt up. Probably the most unusual was back years ago we had some custom drink stations that were curved, real custom cabinetry type work. That one was probably, I would say, a curveball and was fun to do just because it was stuff I'm not used to doing on a daily basis. So I had to kind of really think on how it was going to be done. That was something I was proud of that I did, just because it was so custom and unusual. And I like bright colors, so it was like lime green. It had lights. It was really nice.
Awesome. Sweet. So, if you could trade places with one department in the entire casino, what would you think that would be? Or would you just want to stay in your own department?
I know I'm truly where I should be just because I just love building things. The wilder the better. Sometimes just because I like to push boundaries of what I can do and learn new things. If I had to choose one, just because I haven't seen it, doesn't really know what's going on, I would have to say, kind of going to sound funny, but it's not necessarily a main department for most people, but I'd like to see one of the leadership roles, what they do, which we fondly call Carpet World. That's their whole office area in the back. I would love to see, the choices and decisions they have to make on a daily basis, what they face, because that's something I would never be able to see most of the time. I do work closely with them a lot on these bigger projects, but you just don't ever get to see necessarily what they do or go through. So for me, it would be neat to see what the leadership has to deal with, just for a better understanding. That would probably be something.
Kind of just what goes into everything?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there anything you'd like to add for anyone that's starting in facilities, or is there anything in general?
I guess to excel in facilities, it would of course help to have some skills. Whether that, like me, I couldn't afford to pay people. When I started owning a house, so I did it all for myself and just taught myself because I couldn't pay people to do it. So that's kind of where I started in it. I always had an inclination to build things. I was always doing that before that. So just if you're a DIYer that's got some skills, or just maybe take vocational school. I know back where I came from, they had that opportunity. It's a good field to work with just because it's a really big field. It doesn't require college and going broke. Anybody that likes to work with their hands, basically, willing to learn, I would say would be important.
Awesome. Well, a huge thank you to Tim Craig for sitting down with us and going over a little bit about his day and his experience here at Rising Star Casino. We thank you for everything you do here. You kind of make this place run. Tim is the Back of House Employee of the Year. Big congratulations for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.